Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Pete Nova from the Face Off Sports Network. I am here to break some breaking news. It was just reported in the Denver Broncos press conference. Sean Payton has announced that Bo Nix has been named the starter for Week 1 for the Denver Broncos. Now, for a lot of people, this really hasn't come as a surprise. If you've been tuning into our shows, we've been saying for weeks that, Bo Nix will get the start week 1. He's made a really good impression since jumping in OTAs. Obviously, Sean Payton spoke very highly of him during draft day when they selected him, touting his ability to pick up the playbook extremely quickly in the pre-draft process. And ever since, they selected him, he's made a really good impression on this team. So let's talk about Bo Nix. One of, if not the most accurate quarterbacks in a single season that we have ever seen last year for the Oregon Ducks. Now, the playbook did not force Nix to push the ball downfield a lot, but we are seeing him. He does have a lower A dot in these preseason games that he's played in, and I don't know if we're going to see him for the final preseason game. I wouldn't expect it since he's been named the starter, and I think this coaching staff has seen enough. But we are seeing him push the ball down the field more than some maybe expected. He in terms of completion percentage in the preseason, he's second among all rookie quarterbacks with a minimum of 10 passing attempts for completion percentage. He has 211 passing yards, which is first for all rookie quarterbacks in preseason. He has 117.5 passer rating, which is good enough for first of all rookies in the preseason. And, look, it is preseason and we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. I don't generally look at stats and statistics when evaluating, especially the quarterback position. Many people will go back and reflect on Kenny Pickett's performance in the preseason and say, hey, maybe let's pump the brakes on the Bo Nix hype train. Look at Kenny Pickett and how well he performed as a rookie in the preseason and how that ended up turning out. What I will say is Kenny Pickett was drafted in a much worse situation. Granted, Mike Tomlin is a great NFL coach, one of the best we've seen in this generation. But Matt Canada being the offensive coordinator and helping develop Kenny Pickett was not the best plan that the Pittsburgh Steelers set up for him to grow and get him ready for the NFL. Matt Canada, for what it's worth, probably couldn't even grow a chia pet. That's how bad this offense looked under him. Bo Nix is going to be with one of the best offensive minds that we've seen in this generation in Sean Payton. And, it's a really nice match. He really fits the scheme well. He plays, he throws the ball at all three levels. He works the middle of the field, which is especially what Sean Payton is looking for. And he does provide mobility as well. In college, Bo Nix averaged 26 yards per game rushing the football. He went over 300 rushing yards 3 times in college out of the 5 seasons that he played. And one of those seasons, he actually rushed for 510 rushing yards in 2022. So he does provide a nice floor for fantasy with the rushing upside. Now, you have other rookies that, were drafted higher than him, like Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels. You're probably going to want to draft those guys in fantasy over Bo Nix. I'm not advocating to go out and draft Bo Nix as your starting quarterback in redraft leagues. But what I would say is if you're a guy that drafts the quarterback position pretty high and, you wait on a backup quarterback, Bo Nix might not be the worst guy to draft. The quarterbacks that are going around him don't have the kind of rushing upside that you're looking for. Some of those quarterbacks would be like a Geno Smith or, Daniel Jones is there, but New York looks like it's going to be an absolute disaster. We saw how he looked in the preseason. You have Gardner Minshew. You have, Bryce Young with Canales. Maybe there's some upside there, but Bo Nix should provide a nice floor. He's played very well in the preseason, and it's really just about the comfortability and the command at the line that has been exciting to see with Bo Nix so far in this preseason. So, we're going to continue to monitor the situation, continue to log in and watch our live videos as we talk about our movers and shakers. We do have a show today, every Wednesday, especially for our ADP risers and fallers. Tune into that show later today to see what's going on in the fantasy world, especially for ADPs. But that's it for today's episode. My name is Pete Nova. Thanks for watching.